Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Steve and Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about this topic. Where does this business model end?
Oh, I have a roadmap.
This topic
I've
came
made a
from
roadmap.
a question by Jermaine,
Really?
a member in the last weekly call. He says, "Does anybody out there ever
Oh,
sell
exit
their
strategy
company?
and oh yeah.
Did you
Okay,
ever build it all up and sell it?"
got it. I forgot about that.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Marcus asks, "What should I be doing while waiting for my first mailer to hit?" That's good.
So there's 2 weeks once you
Uh-huh.
send a mailer out. It takes 2 weeks for offers to owners
And you're sweating it,
to get it to where they're opening the mail.
right?
Potential sellers are actually opening
Right.
the mail in the offer. So he's
That's
asking.
kind of funny. What do I do? I'd start getting
First of
ready.
all,
get your
and
systems in
No
order.
matter how much you study, and no matter what you listen to, how many podcast episodes you listen to, or how seriously you take this, around the second week, the middle of the second week, and I swear to God, I do this too.
Yeah, he does.
You sit there, you look in the mirror, and you say, "This didn't work.
Yep, I failed.
I failed.
The phone's not ringing. Yeah.
I must have missed
He
something."
does that too. It's so funny. You're right.
Jill laughs every time.
Yeah, I'm like, sit tight.
To this day.
How many
do it.
times I have to tell you? You did it right, I promise. And then another week goes by, and we're
Or
overwhelmed.
buying dirt.
Yeah, and
everywhere.
he's like, "Oh, sorry. Yeah, I guess I overreacted there, didn't I?" Yeah, you kind of did.
Everybody wants
true.
something to just smack them in the face and for it to be great and easy.
Yeah.
That's how we all want our lives to go.
Exactly.
This is easy and great and
I don't have to do
profitable.
any work. That's right. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll talk more about what we think I kind of did. But some of our members put in some replies. So I'm going to read some of the responses. So Robert replied, "Congrats on your first mailer. That's a big step, and I totally understand the feeling you're having right now. Sure, there's lots of things that you can be doing while you wait, of course. Which things would actually be of value to you is a determination you are going to have to make. But here are a few things that I can recommend. 1, organization.
Yes.
Consider your deal flow and making a checklist or a standardized explanation of how you got to this point. The idea being you will be training someone eventually to help you as an assistant or maybe even a VA,
This is
virtual
brilliant.
assistant. Also, when it is time for you to do this again, you'll have a record of exactly what you did. It'll be easier to tweak your process.
I couldn't have
That's
answered that
great,
better
too.
myself.
Number 2, social media. Since you will likely be buying property in that county, you can start to join the Facebook groups in your target area if you haven't already. I love that. Garage and yard sale groups, classified and swap groups are great key terms along with the city and or county names to search for when looking to join.
Great
I also
advice.
look for too, like I had mentioned on another call, who might be the user of this. It might be what if it's cabin property wherever you're doing your mail, or it's
Preppers,
something like that too.
tiny house people.
Exactly. Get yourself in those groups.
Yeah.
3, research future markets. Since you just got done researching your first target market, you're already in research mode. This is true. You should be prepping your next mailer
This
while
guy's-
you're waiting for your first mailer to hit.
This guy's
Thank
brilliant.
you, Robert. This is great.
Some brilliant people in this group.
So look for your second target market. Familiarize yourself with what makes a particular area attractive. Get onto Facebook and join groups and ask questions of potential areas you are looking into. Say you're considering buying property in the area for a getaway spot or for weekends, and ask where your people would suggest you to buy since you are new to the area. That's kind of cool. You can learn from the locals a reason a particular area is attractive or where to avoid. Just a few ideas anyway. Congrats again. I think that was awesome.
And don't freak out.
Yeah, don't freak out. I was just going to say too, you could start, you're going to be buying some property, the area, how the county works, you're going to be doing, special warranty deeds, start prepping up and being ready to do deeds, start prepping up and being ready to post a property when you buy it. So he's talking about the marketing property, but we still got to buy the property. Make sure you know where to go to do your due diligence. Get familiar in ParcelFact. So when the people call you up, you're going into parcelfact.com, you're popping in the state county APN, get practice looking it up and looking at the properties and getting to know the area a little bit better. What else do you want to add?
Yeah. So when there's downtime like that,
Mhm.
specifically for infill lots or for houses.
Right.
You need to find buyers.
That's true.
So, unlike rural vacant land, which you tend to either wholesale out to other people like you or retail it out, for infill lots and for houses, you already know who's going to buy the house. You already
Right.
know who's going to buy the infill lot. It's the developers in the area, or in the case of houses, people that
Other flippers.
renovators,
Yeah, the flippers.
not necessarily end users. So 2 weeks, you should have a fantastic list of when this properties start hitting.
What you're gonna do
You
with
should
them.
know who's going to buy the property.
Exactly.
You should have maybe a list of 5 people at least that are already buying property in that area anyway.
You know what's funny about this? It reminds me of the first time being pregnant. We all, men and women, okay. When your significant other is pregnant, what do we all do? We study all the books about pregnancy,
Yeah.
what's growing, how it works, how it's going to happen. And maybe we start to get about the delivery, but we don't even really get into that so much. We're really about what's happening right now. And then, well, one thing we never really look forward is what to do when the baby's actually here. We all skip over that part, like, oh, yeah, shoot, I didn't think about that part. I was so focused on this part. So, thank you for asking these questions. And thank you, everyone, for thinking about what to do after the baby is actually here.
Every time I have downtime, I don't know why. I don't know when I picked this habit up. This is about everything.
Okay.
My gut reaction is to document what I'm doing, whether it's film it,
Ah,
write
that's
about
good.
it.
All right.
I don't know why that is.
It's interesting.
And so,
That's not what I do.
what do you do? Enjoy it?
Yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah. I'm out of here. Does anybody need me? I know it's 2:00, but I'm leaving. Just kidding.
That's exactly what's going to happen right after this recording
Right.
for me. Today's topic: where does this business model end? This is the meat of the show. When you own a business, there's two financial components to it. And this is an accounting concept. And it's actually I don't know why we haven't talked about it until now. There's the income statement part of it, the money that's coming in. You're buying and selling. Hopefully there's more money coming in than goes out. And there's the balance sheet part. This thing that you're building and building and building that's got this value, right? Think of, in the simplest terms, think of a rental house. There's the money that you make every month, theoretically, because you charge rent. There's expenses. You left a little bit left over. But the real juice in rental house is the thing's going up in value every year.
Right.
And at the end, you sell it. So you
Right.
get kind of a 2-for-1 deal. So when you own, let's say, a manufacturing company, you've got the money coming in every month. But you're building this thing and the sales are going up, and it's, at the end of the thing, you can have an exit strategy and sell the thing.
Right.
So you're building this land business. Where does your business model end? You're obviously making hordes of money every month. Hordes and hordes of money. Can you sell it at the end? The easiest and best types of businesses to sell. I've bought and sold tons and tons of companies in my life, and brokered tons as an investment banker and accountant before we got into this. The best companies that you can sell have this profile. They have no real customer concentration, meaning, it's not like a government contractor where you just build one part for a helicopter and that's it. That's just one customer and that's bad. You want lots of customers. Check, this business has that. Tons of customers. It has a diversification of products. So you're not just making one product like that government contractor. You're buying and selling, in our case, houses and land, and you're doing it all over the United States. So you're not subject to one economic depressive area. Let's say Detroit, Michigan. If you don't want to do it there, you can pack up the stuff in 35 seconds and go do it in Oregon or anywhere else you want. It's scalable, meaning you can control how much you sell or don't sell. You're not subject to, like, let's say, a convenience store or a restaurant where you have 22 tables and breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's it.
Right.
Unless you open another location. Check. And then finally, the new person who buys buys the company is going to effectively be able to run the thing without you.
Right.
Fail. That's the problem with this business model. There's
Yeah.
95% of it's all positive, but the new person, the person who buys this company from you, and you turn over all your social media accounts and you give them the usernames and passwords to everything, and you teach them how to do a mailer, it's still you.
Right.
It's still your face on that. So Jill and I talk about
Yeah.
selling Land Academy, or we've never talked about it. I think about it,
We
and
never talked about it.
we've never talked,
Don't
and it never
worry.
will.
Yeah, don't worry.
The Land Academy will not ever get
No.
sold.
Mm-mm.
Um, in that case, if we had to sell Land Academy, or if you had to sell your land business, you would probably sign an agreement that says, I'll continue to do the mailers for you, but you do everything else.
Right.
So an institutional buyer who's got tons of money might come to you and say, we buy apartment buildings in Illinois, and I don't think we're doing it right anymore. We want to buy your company, but we want to have you send them the mail for us indefinitely, and let's sign a contract, and you could be a full-time consultant for us, and on and on.
Right.
So you can sell it. You can also franchise it. There's all kinds of stuff you could do, but it is not a very good business. It's the balance sheet part of your land business is not typical for a business owner.
Right.
The income statement, in my opinion, and this is why we do this for a living, more than makes up for the back end of the end of the business model.
Right. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I took this topic and I wrote down kind of a roadmap of what I see the majority of us doing, us included. So where does this business model end? And I just took it like, where would I end? What's going to happen for me in the next couple of years? How is this going to change? I'm not going to keep doing buy for 500, sell for 2,000. I will die. Somebody will die. I can't do that, right? Yeah,
Probably me.
exactly. Something's going to happen. You can't do that. You can't sustain that. So what's the roadmap? So I say, and like what we do, as you progress and move along, you might stay with your same property type. We have so many members that just love land. This whole house thing, who cares? Don't want to do it, don't want to do it, don't want to do it. They love land. What are they doing and what have we done? Moved on to bigger deals, either larger properties or more money involved, higher dollar amounts. Usually it's the same. Not always, but that's what you do. So you move on to higher properties. So I'm doing maybe the same number of deals, but I'm making more money on those deals. The other thing is that we do, we're diversified. We do all kinds of things, but some of our members have also moved on to other property types. Some are going to infill lots and said, I'm done with that. I want to do this. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to do the house thing, whatever it is. They move on to other property types. And that's how you can, grow your business, make more money, and be profitable. And then the very end, though, like you said this, and I love it. That's you can replace yourself with a lot of the tasks, but there's some things you can't do. You can't replace yourself, like you just said. The mailer, your face, you're the the front, whatever everybody sees.
Yeah.
So there's some key tasks that you still want, because you want this to keep going. And I'm not worried about it. I've never set out to have this be the type of business that we're never going to do it. What we have done too is we're setting this up to make this a legacy, a family legacy. I don't know if that's the right term, but a business that we can pass on to the kids.
Yeah.
So and
so
keep
should
it going. So at some point,
pass on the tribal knowledge,
right?
If your kids are into it.
Exactly. So maybe then we will be backing out of it, but it will still be our family, our business, and it will go on hopefully forever.
If for sake of argument, if you're the kind of person who's interested in an exit strategy when you start a company and you're kind of shaking your head trying to figure this out, where the exit is,
Yeah.
Here's what you might want to do. And so you buy a piece of property and you sell it. You have a
Right.
bunch of dough. You're converting money into land and back into money.
Right.
Let's say, for sake of argument, every other property, you just keep it. Buy a piece of property, sell it. Now you have a bunch of dough. Buy 2 pieces of property, resell one of them, keep one of them. At the end of 10 years, you're going to have millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of real estate accumulated.
That's good.
For nothing, because you're using the profit margin from the last deal.
Right.
So there's something to sell there. I mean, you can very easily set an exit strategy
That's perfect.
up. And it's going to be, there's lots of ways to save for retirement.
Right.
That's a real good one.
That's
You
perfect.
complete control over this.
Exactly. I love it.
Well, you've done it again. You spent another 15 minutes or so listening to the Land Academy show. Join us next time where Jill and I interview Justin Sleva on Finance Friday.
And we answer your questions posted on our online community, landinvestors.com. It's free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
That was good.
I love talking
That was
about
a good.
Oh, you know what I didn't mention? There's no law against owning two companies either. So
It's true.
if this is a great income statement company, and it really is,
It's true.
there's other companies that are out there that are great balance sheet companies,
It's true.
like a Christmas tree farm. You don't really make any money doing
Sure.
that, but the long haul is really good.
That's good.
And I'm say that jokingly.
Oh.
Christmas tree farm.
I don't think that's crazy.
Another good non-cash flow company would be, real estate in very expensive areas.
Yeah.
They don't make any money, but they accumulate in value. Like we live in a neighborhood that pretty dramatically accumulates in value, but the rental market's like you can't charge enough rent. You can't charge rent on a $5 million house. You're going to charge $20,000 to make it work a
Right.
month. So they just don't rent out well. But the long haul on those houses, if you're making 8% on a balance sheet,
Right.
booking 8% of an increase in value on a balance sheet over a year on a $4 million asset, that's awesome.
Exactly. Wherever you are watching or wherever you are listening, please rate us there. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
And inspiration.
to buy undervalued property.